The birth of obsession begins where most men go wrong, in misunderstanding what truly captivates a woman's mind. It's not about showering her with attention, gifts, or constant validation. Those things might earn temporary appreciation, but they don't create the kind of deep, lingering fixation that keeps her thoughts circling back to you. Obsession is born in the space between what she knows and what she senses, the quiet tension of mystery, the unspoken depth that makes her lean in, trying to unravel you. Most men make the mistake of treating connection like an open book. They overshare, confess too much too soon, and believe that emotional intimacy is built through sheer volume of words. But a woman doesn't bond through information, she bonds through energy. It's not about what you say. It's about how you make her feel when she's around you. The man who lingers in her mind isn't the one who gave her every piece of himself up front. He's the one who made her wonder. Think about the way a great story pulls you in, not by revealing everything at once, but by hinting at hidden layers, making you question what's beneath the surface. That's the effect you want to create. When she senses there's more to you than what you show, her imagination takes over. She replays your pauses, analyzes your quiet confidence, and fills in the blanks with fascination. That's the key. Obsession thrives in the gaps, not in the explanations. This doesn't mean playing games or being dishonest. It means understanding that not every thought needs to be spoken, not every emotion needs to be laid bare. When you speak, do it with intention. When you're silent, let it be deliberate. The more she has to work to understand you, the more invested she becomes. Most men are an open book, predictable, easy to decipher. But the man who remains just out of reach, who carries himself with quiet assurance, becomes the one she can't stop thinking about. Because obsession doesn't start with what you give, it starts with what you don't. The foundation of true attraction isn't built on grand gestures or rehearsed charm, it's built on presence. Most men never realize this. They think attraction is about impressing her, about proving their worth through words or actions. But the most magnetic men understand something far more powerful. Presence isn't something you do, it's something you are. When you're fully rooted in the moment, completely engaged without distraction, you create an energy that pulls her in without effort. Think about the last time you were with someone who made you feel truly heard, not just listened to, but seen. That's the effect of presence. Most men are physically in the room, but mentally elsewhere, checking their phones, scanning for other options, or stuck in their own heads. But when you give her your undivided attention, when your focus is steady and unshaken, she feels it on a primal level. It's rare, it's intoxicating, and it makes you unforgettable. Presence isn't just about eye contact or nodding along, it's about emotional anchoring. When she tests you, and she will, when she throws drama or silence your way to gauge your reaction, your ability to remain centered is what separates you from every other man who crumbles under pressure. Most guys react, they explain, defend, or worse, beg for approval. But the man who stays calm, who doesn't rise to the bait, communicates something deeper. He doesn't need her validation to know his worth. That kind of quiet confidence is catnip to the feminine mind. The magic happens in the subtleties. The way you hold space without filling it with nervous chatter. The way you listen without rushing to respond. Most conversations are just waiting for her turn to speak. But when you listen to understand rather than to reply, she notices. And when she realizes you're not like the others, that your presence isn't performative but deeply authentic, that's when the real connection begins. Because presence isn't a tactic, it's the art of making a woman feel like, in that moment, nothing else exists but her. And that's a feeling she chased long after you're gone. The human mind craves patterns. It's how we make sense of the world, but desire operates differently. What fascinates a woman isn't consistency, but the electric thrill of controlled unpredictability. This isn't about being unreliable or playing mind games. It's about understanding that true magnetism lives in the spaces between certainty and mystery, between availability and depth. Most men become predictable within weeks. They settle into routines, same texting patterns, same date nights, same emotional responses. But the man who lingers in her thoughts understands rhythm. One day he's warm and engaged, the next focused on his mission. Sometimes he responds immediately. Other times hours pass because he's immersed in his purpose. This variation isn't manipulation, it's the natural ebb and flow of a man whose world doesn't revolve around her. The key lies in emotional texture. Most relationships flatline when every interaction feels the same. But when she never quite knows what emotional flavor to expect, playful banter one moment, intense depth the next, it keeps her psychologically engaged. She starts anticipating your interactions, replaying past ones, trying to decipher your layers. This mental investment is the soil where obsession grows. True unpredictability stems from authenticity. It's not about acting randomly, but about being multidimensional. You're affectionate but not clingy, available but not at her beck and call, interested but never desperate. This balance creates what psychologists call intermittent reinforcement, the powerful psychological principle that variable rewards create stronger attachment than predictable ones. When she can't anticipate your level of engagement, she becomes hyper-aware of you. Every notification becomes potentially yours. Every interaction carries weight. The magic happens in the tension between connection and autonomy. She senses you're fully present when with her, but equally complete when apart. This paradox, being both engaged and independent, makes you irresistible. Because ultimately, unpredictability isn't about keeping her guessing. It's about being so authentically yourself that she can't help but want to discover more. The most powerful words are often the ones left unspoken. In a world where men constantly compete for attention through noise and overexposure, the disciplined man understands the magnetic pull of strategic silence. This isn't about withholding communication out of spite, but rather mastering the art of allowing space for her imagination to fill the gaps. When you resist the urge to explain yourself at every turn or fill every quiet moment with chatter, you create an irresistible aura of depth that lingers in her subconscious long after you're gone. Most men sabotage their own mystery by oversharing, divulging their entire life story on the first date, texting paragraphs to fill uncomfortable silences, or seeking constant validation through verbal reassurance. But the man who understands feminine psychology knows that what's left unsaid often carries more weight than what's expressed. Your pauses between sentences, the thoughtful look in your eyes when you choose not to immediately respond, the way you comfortably inhabit silence, these become the brushstrokes that paint your mystery in her mind. Sexual tension thrives in this same space of restraint. The man who immediately gives everything physically creates no room for anticipation. But when you touch her hand and pull away, when you lock eyes but don't immediately kiss, when you make her wonder when and how you'll make your move, you transform simple attraction into an addictive craving. This dance of advance and retreat isn't manipulation. It's understanding that desire needs room to breathe, to grow, to become something she can't stop thinking about. The power of silence extends beyond physical interactions. In arguments, most men either explode with emotion or grovel for resolution. But when you remain composed, when you listen more than you speak, when you demonstrate through actions rather than empty promises, that's when she truly begins to respect you. Your quiet confidence becomes the anchor in her emotional storms, the steady presence she can't help but be drawn to again and again. Because in the end, the man who says less but means more will always occupy more space in her mind than the one who constantly begs to be heard. The ultimate obsession isn't created. It's earned through the gravitational pull of a purpose-driven life. Women don't fall for men who make them the center of their universe. They become intoxicated by men whose universe is so compelling she fight to be part of it. This is the paradox most men miss. The less you need her, the more she need you. Not in a transactional sense, but in the undeniable magnetism of a man who's building something greater than any single relationship. Obsession flourishes in the soil of contrast. When she sees you prioritizing your morning workout over texting her back immediately, when she notices you deep in creative flow instead of waiting by the phone, when she realizes your emotional stability doesn't hinge on her approval, that's when you become unforgettable. It's not about neglect, but about demonstrating through action that while you appreciate her presence, your mission continues with or without her. This unshakable commitment to your own growth creates a psychological pull stronger than any cheap validation tactic. The most powerful form of attraction is self-contained. Masculinity, the kind that doesn't seek permission or approval. When she witnesses you handling setbacks with quiet determination, when she sees you commanding respect in your professional circle, when she catches glimpses of your disciplined routines,